Door's way down there. You can't wait to go at it. Looks like we had a party last night. Stoked to go out the door. Doesn't matter where, when. Oh, we got some construction. Yeah, it's that time of year. A lot of spring cleaning and fixing and skiing. And it's 7:30 in the morning on Friday, April 26th. There's still some snow up there. It rained last night, about 1/10 of an inch here. It's a fairly weak front, but it's a boundary, and it doesn't take much to focus some convection. There's a cumulonimbus right there. Strip of rain just south of us. The national radar shows the energy strung out from up here in the northeast all the way down to ongoing severe weather in Texas. It's a boundary between a pretty cold high over Ontario this morning. I saw single digits there, and that high extends into about Maine. The regional temperature, low temperatures this morning, mostly in the 40s and 50s. Blue numbers are dew points, fairly humid with a dew point in the 40s, relatively speaking, of course, and the 30s in Maine. So that's that weak boundary. They were having a mostly dry day. Yesterday we had a big halo phenomena around the sun, and sure enough, an hour later, I didn't record it, but we had about 1/10 of an inch of rain at sunset. So it wasn't a bad day. It was actually a really nice day for a time. Yesterday morning, the blue sky and then the threatening clouds. Then we got back out to more blue sky. So the lifts stop running here in a couple days. It's pretty much a miracle that they keep finding enough snow to connect the lower lifts to the, once you get up above 500 feet in elevation, there's enough snow on the ground, but they have to bring it all down and groom it to the base lifts so we can get on the lifts so we don't have to walk. Stowe says the most terrain in the east right now, which I think is interesting. I think one of the reasons is Killington is redoing the Superstar chair, so that Superstar is already closed for the season because of the work. Also at Killington, a bear on the slope yesterday. Who got that picture? Tyler shared that on X last night. And what else? We got turkeys on Can-Am. David at Jay yesterday. So Can-Am totally exposed to the sun. The snow is gone, but in the trees and the shaded areas and the more north-facing slopes, there's still enough snow for skiing. Just watch out for the turkeys and the bears. All right, we're going up 2 more days. Yeah, it's tough to let it go. And we'll come right back with some more. The weekend still looking very wet. That energy from Texas coming into New England. So we're tracking rain and snow. It's going to snow up here, it looks like. All right, be right back. It's so nice out. Maybe cloudy, but it's so comfortable that we have the door open here. Hey, T-Rex, what do you see? Hey, see anybody skiing up there? Oh, we started the day on the sunrise lift. Now they get the quad back open. I see some mud patches, but also a lot of snow. Very fun to run into friends. Hey, Max from the Vineyard, all the way up here at Stowe. Love that, love that. Max had a really intelligent question as he gets photobombed by Bill Levins, as is often the case. Bill, you're so funny. So Max asks me about these weather symbols on the weather map here. He said, what about that wind arrow? That wind arrow, say Bar Harbor, Maine right now. The temperature is 64. By the way, it's noontime here on our Friday. And the arrow points in the direction the wind is coming from. So the wind in Bar Harbor right now is from the north, and each element on the flag indicates 10 knots. Now, if it's a short little line, that indicates 3 knots. So the wind in Maine right now is from the north, and then the wind in, say, let's do Nantucket. The wind is from the southwest at about 13 knots, and it's 61 degrees. Then if you look at Boston and Worcester, 64, 70 in Worcester, wow. And there's no wind barb at all. That means it's calm. And so we like the calm, especially when it comes to the audio systems. I'm wearing my wireless mic now. There's a couple people down there, so I think I can talk quietly, and we can talk about the day. Today we had some rain just kind of sitting off to our south. Oh yeah, let me show you that again. I want to show you that. You know, usually I do all of this without seeing any of my maps. I memorize them, but just to illustrate that front Here's the satellite image. So there's that cooler, drier air in Maine. That's even cold air advection clouds in far northern Maine. And then you have kind of dual little parallel fronts right here. And there are some raindrops in some of those fronts, and I'll show you the radar. And there is that front with rain just south of Burlington to near Boston, and then you get a whole bunch of rain off to our west and southwest, and you can widen it out. You're seeing behind the curtain now, and this is all the stuff I do before I go out the door usually. And you get this big serpentine shape. Whenever you see a serpentine on the weather map, it's serious. And the weather's moved out of Texas. Now the severe weather is going to happen down there at the base of the Mississippi River Valley. And all these elements of rain are going to push through New England here. So that stationary front's lifting to the north is a warm front. Let's go to the high resolution NAM from this morning. And this afternoon, we have just a couple of scattered showers around. That little line there from Vermont to southern New Hampshire into Maine, that's that initial warm front. And then we're getting into warm air advection tonight. There's going to be low pressure going to our north, and here comes the real rain coming in from southwest to northeast. There are going to be bands of heavy rain, embedded thunderstorms, and downpours because it's a Saturday, and it seems to happen every Saturday lately. And then it looks like the rain, a little bit of snow there in the far northwest, but that's staying northwest for tomorrow anyway. And then we get a break, and then there's a line of thunderstorms crossing the Connecticut River Valley about sunset or so. And these can be moved north or south or east or west. It just means that there's going to be some heavy weather coming from west to east after a break in the action. The sun may come out, then a thunderstorm, and then the cold front comes through, and now we have another low developing on the front on the coast of Maine. Now here's where green is changing to blue. That is rain changing to snow and backing down. Now this is Sunday as the sun is coming up. That darker blue is heavy snow coming out of Canada into northern Vermont, all the way down the spine of the Green Mountains. It could be snowing on Sunday morning for a few hours anyway, and then that snow gradually lifts to the north and starts to shut down. But the backlash lasts all day long. You can see the 540 cutoff right there, that blue circle. That's an upper level 540 cutoff, and that's a cool pool aloft, and that's responsible for the mixed precipitation coming in on our last Sunday of April, last day of lift-serve skiing here at Stowe, and other areas are going to keep on going. And speaking of that, I'm going to be writing my final J blog coming up here in a few minutes after I get done with this. So how much rain is going to fall? Every time you look at one of these runs, it shifts around, but the one feature that remains the same, there are going to be areas that pick up more than 2 inches of rain. You just can never tell where the bands are going to set up. So there's the wall of water coming in late tonight, tomorrow, on and off downpours, and during the afternoon, gusty thunderstorm is possible. Very warm in most of New England and humid until the cold front comes through, and then it's now a liquid equivalent in parts of Vermont and Maine. And we go out. This goes out to 8 p.m. on Sunday, and it shows these bands of the blue is up to a half inch, and you get past the purples, that's more than an inch, and then you get some mustard colors and some yellow in there. And some areas may pick up 3 inches of rain. Now, we've been dosed our rain pretty evenly over the last several weeks, so we're not expecting any flooding, but deep puddles and not fun driving tomorrow night, and then in the snow up here on Sunday. How much snow? Well, why don't I close in on just northern New England and southeastern Canada for this snowfall map, and because I'm taking it full screen, you can see on the sides here, it doesn't fit the same exact shape of the computer. So you see the sides of Mount Mansfield on either side of this map, because I want you to see all the way south to the southern Green Mountains, where even your house there, Mitch, in Reedsboro, Vermont, you may have another inch of snow on your car roof here on Sunday morning. And once you get up to the higher elevations from Mount Washington and Mount Mansfield, you're looking at 6 to 12 inches of snow at the very tops of the mountains. Is that true? That's what the purple says. Purple is 6 to 12, and widespread even in the valley floors there up in Quebec City and points north of 5 to 10 inches of snow even down at lower elevations. So April going out like a lion a little bit, although it's not the last day of April. All right, so that's our weekend. Most of New England's not having a bad Sunday, but there will be a lot of clouds, and just can't really catch a break on the weekends. Last weekend in southern New England was pretty nice on Saturday, and then we all turned windy and colder on Sunday, right? That's what happened last weekend. Yeah, Easter was cold and windy, but the sun came out, and this time probably even colder, a little less windy and less sun. All right, so now let's go to the GFS, and some changes here in the GFS since we talked yesterday. Here's the big picture, lower 48 for most part north of the Gulf of Mexico, where we have air coming at us from the Gulf of Mexico today. And that's the clash of the air masses. And then tonight, the low jumps right over New England, reforms on the Maine coast and slows down. And there's our backlash rain and blue is snow. Cold air advection. All of a sudden, our air now is coming from eastern Canada instead of Florida. And whenever you get that bash of air masses, that's where your heavier weather is. So Sunday is breezy and chilly, and any snow probably taper off into rain showers at the end of the day. The last lift ride here could be interesting on Sunday. Maybe the sun will come out for us just in time for the last hurrah at 4 o'clock. And then Sunday night and Monday, that high pressure system comes in. It's kind of cold, maybe some frost around spots on Monday morning. That's a strong high. But you see another storm coming out of the middle part of the country. You can't catch a break with the severe weather in the middle of the country. It's that time of year. And that front's going to drive in our direction, and it's going to push warmer air in here. Still looks like Tuesday and a part of Wednesday could be in the low 80s, especially away from the ocean in southern central New England. And the front on Wednesday looks a little faster and a little bit more vigorous than it did yesterday. So showers and thunderstorms are likely on Wednesday. And we may again be measuring rainfall of greater than an inch in parts of New England before that pushes offshore next Thursday. And we've been talking about that's May 1st. And then we've been talking about the Arctic air to the north of New England on Friday, May 2nd. So let's stop it again here on that next Friday, a week from today. And we see those thicknesses up there, 522, 516, and 510 is still there. Yesterday we had a 504, but the 510 is the thickness, very dense cold air. That's Arctic air coming into eastern Canada on next Friday. But it looks like the front that's in New England, that yesterday the boundary was at the south coast. Now the boundary's in northern New England. So more of us are on the warmer side of the front than the colder side of the front next Friday. And this is going to keep on changing. So this is going to be something I love when we stop the maps on day 10, then 9, then 8, then 7, and see how it finally works out. Thursdays and Fridays have been our roughest weather, although it seems to have shifted to Saturdays lately, hasn't it? So let's keep it going. Let's keep going till Saturday, May 3rd, and the front again next Saturday tries to rain here with the colder air pressing south and the warm air resisting, and there's a battle zone, so thunderstorms, and rain tries to change to snow there north of New England. This now goes out to Sunday, May 4th, and all of a sudden that Arctic air is gone. And this is 240 hours out, and the blue lines are way up in Canada. We've said this a couple of times lately, right? Where we say, oh, the cold air is all gone, and then the next day it shows back up again. So I think that the cold air will show back up again, but a lot of the guidance that had more than 10-day forecast, the 14-day forecast, did have a bunch of snow around the Northeast, and I don't think we're going to get a bunch, but it may snow some more in May. Everyone keeps reminding me it's not unusual to have late season snowstorms up here. People are talking about one guy, let's see, Alan on the shuttle this morning said 1982. I remember I skinned up the toll road and I came down nosedive with my golden retriever. 1982, who was doing that? Alan, the shuttle driver this morning. And people talk about 1989. And of course, I've been talking about 1977 for late season snows. And of course, that Memorial Day, I'm going to have to look that one up. One year it snowed all the way to late May in the Adirondacks, a couple feet of snow. I'm sure somebody will remind me. Thank you, Keith, and all my supporters on here, reminding me of all these different things, and happy that I'm still stretching out the season. And I am grateful to be here and to have so many friends and making new friends every day. And so that's it for the weather. The And More is going to feature new people and some people that we've known for some time here on Out the Door Weather and More. And I asked for grades on the winter, and pretty much everyone says it was an A. We give Mother Nature an A for a great ski season. So that'll be the theme. And the sky yesterday with the ring around the sun, it turned kind of stormy here right about sunset, but I didn't have the camera going. You got to shut off at some point. So once you see that halo around the sun from me on Hayride, that'll be the end. And Hayride had some interesting features, so I'll talk about the texture of the snow and more and more and more. Tad breezy. There's the warm air advection cloud right there. I think we're still in cold advection though right now here. No cloud touching the top. So I mentioned, I don't know, last week or yesterday or sometime. Sometimes you can't bloom because it's just a cavity underneath the snow. And there's one right there. See how it's just collapsed right here? So it's about 3 feet of snow, but with caves underneath from the water running underneath. Bad lighting. Can I get in there? Not crawl in there, but look in there. No, I guess I can't. So I'm on a bridge of snow right here. That's my glove. This is Lower Hayride, and that's beautiful blue sky and sunshine. 9 o'clock, 5th lift ride of the day. And Steve came from Florida to ski here.
That's right.
Just because you've never been here.
That's right. I don't think I'll get another chance.
And how are you liking it?
That's great. The first hour on this mountain has been incredible. So kudos to the grooming team.
Yes, they are incredible. Right. And the weather. And nice to meet you, Steve.
Nice to meet you.
You're in Out the Door Weather and More, it's called.
Out the door, weather and more.
Yeah, with TK.
Weather and skiing.
And my dog and my cat.
Two hobbies. Weather and skiing.
Yeah.
From December 15th.
Oh, Mike is grading this winter for us.
I give it a solid A. It's not an A+. We didn't have any 2-foot storms, but non-stop powder for 2.5 months. In the spring got a little clunky in March, but here we are, April 24th, and we're still skiing goat.
Right,
And
yeah, ropes off
pretty
goat.
Amazing, and mountain biking's open. These are the dream days.
Right.
These are what you dream
All right,
of.
Mike. Thanks for the grade. I'm going to
problem.
publish that grade on Out the Door Weather and More.
All right.
All right.
And
Good
don't
to see you.
forget to check out the Octagon podcast.
Oh, that's
local
right.
podcasting
That's
stuff.
right. Thanks, Mike.
All right, Tim.
Look at that. Blocked by the wind right there. Blocked by the building from the wind, in the sun. Where's Andre? We need to have a dance party. Want a dance party right now. They just keep finding ways to connect the top to the bottom and the lifts. We've got this incoming warm front. Maybe some snow this weekend. Center line, gorgeous. Probably not going to be groomed again. But still connected. 9:15. 10,000 feet. A little late today. Sun's rising. So, when the quad is in the chair, you might not take Tyro because you'd have to hook it back up. However, if you're done for the morning, Tyro is the call. You like this, Carl? You all set to go? Whee! Woo! Woohoo! Backwards. Okay, Shadow. Corn, cord, golf in the afternoon. Somewhere. Big rain cloud just went by, but it didn't rain. Now at 3 o'clock, shuttling myself back over for round 2 and the closing bell. Thursday, April 24 and more. That was a river. So yesterday's question was, where do you put the skis in an Alfa Romeo passenger seat? Where do you put the skis on a... I can't even read that. It's a motorcycle, right? Yeah. I am definitely overdressed still. I thought I started to go. There's Bob. There's TK. Upper nose side. Oh yeah. That rock right there is what happened right there. First rock on nosedive. Both of us just hit it. Man. 4 o'clock. And of course when I say April 24th, that's when I'm shooting it. And it airs in more on April 25th and more. That rain cloud way over there. Wish I could see to the west. We had a little bit of a dry, warm faux pas just now. There's a cold faux pas nearby somewhere. The lady eager to get on the next lift just went down. Smashing to lift line, no doubt. Yep. It's 4 p.m. corn. beautiful April day. She can, I can. 4 p.m. Gotta have strong legs. I'm willing to do a little side stepping here and there. But all in all, very nice. April 24th. There we go, on April 25th. Wow. Birds of prey gliding the ridgeline. Looks like we have a little optical phenomena. Do you see what I see? Optical phenomena. Sunlight being refracted by ice crystals. Probably some super cooled vapor up there. 5 miles in the sky. Ring around the sun or moon. Snow or rain soon. But a little of both. Dodged one today. Rain cloud went over. Nothing happened. I don't even see any vertical development. I see the greening of the grass at the golf course where it was ice out 2 days ago now. I think we're just about done here. Sweep will come in a minute. Thank you, Patrol, for letting us know that there was a little cavity here. So that rock's still under a foot of snow, and then there's a cavity. A couple more feet of snow on that. That'll get us through Sunday, huh? Is there piano music playing? Do you see a time lapse going? Fun clouds, patches of altocumulus and virga today. A little gray from beneath the cloud. Precipitation not hitting the ground. Sunset right at the flagpole. Did you guys ever ring around the sun at your sunset? Sunrise. Bass River beauty. I don't think there was any fog today, right? It's probably in the upper 20s in Martha's Vineyard. Patches of clouds, likewise. Sure. Thank you, Mother Nature, for another beauty.